Arizona man accused of killing his wife 30 years ago is back in Wisconsin tonight. Yes,
70-year-old Mark Bringe was arrested outside of Sahuarita 1 week ago. He waived extradition and is currently back in Wisconsin under a $1 million cash bond.
In tonight's Crime Trackers report, News 4 Tucson's Lupita Murillo has more on how Arizona Department of Public Safety officers helped solve this case.
Within 8 months' time, DPS officers here from the Tucson office help Wisconsin authorities clear a murder case that dates back to 1988.
Regardless of actions that were crimes committed in another state, that one way or another, state lines aren't going to matter and we're going to come get them.
Trooper Jonathan Barbeau says they helped investigators from the Columbia County Sheriff's Office on several occasions involving the case of Lori Bringe. Her death was first ruled a suicide. According to court documents, Lori's husband Mark told officials that she was having a hard time at work and committed suicide, something that was always unsettling to her neighbor Don Player, who spoke to our sister station WMTV 15.
It's very unlikely that a person shoots themselves in the left side of the head and then calmly sets the gun down by their right-hand side after they've shot themselves in the head.
He was there 30 years ago when officers showed up at the Bringe home. His wife asked him what was going on.
I said, "It's Lori. She's dead, and I sure hope the police do the powder residue tests on Mark's hand."
He also told our affiliate prior to Lori's death.
She had serious black and blue marks on her face 2 weeks before she died.
Pleer, a former attorney, says,
The next day, I went back to the scene to look it over, and one thing I saw was no blood anywhere.
Columbia County sheriffs admit the first officers on scene failed to investigate the death as a homicide. However, Mark Bringe,
so of course he was on the radar. He was the husband. He's the one that reported it.
In 2014, Detective Lieutenant Roger Brandner helped reopen the case. 3 years later, Lori's body was exhumed, and they gathered key evidence to continue their investigation.
I mean, we know that this relationship, according to Lori, back then was coming to an end. She was getting ready to leave her husband, and I think that obviously played into this homicide.
So with the help of new technology and new sets of eyes looking into the case, the next step was to question and find Mark Bringe. That's where the Arizona Department of Public Safety came in.
Our detectives assisted them coming down and actually interviewing Mr. Bringe in his residence and accompanied them to his residence.
Then there was a search warrant that was served last June.
Our detectives assisted with writing up the search warrant and also accompanied them in executing the search warrant.
On January 12th, they also helped arrest 70-year-old Mark Bringe, which shocked the neighbors in the rural community outside of Sahuarita.
Kind of scary. You just don't know. You just don't know.
So despite time and distance, the saying still holds true. You can run, but you can't hide. Lupita Murillo, News for Tucson.